Okay, hello everyone, you're very welcome. Thanks for dropping by again. Today I'm going to make a drip feed oil system for my cooker project. What I need to do is I want a pipe in pipe. This system worked great for me before. Essentially what I do is I have some steel pipe. We call it gun barrel. It's just mild steel 1-inch pipe. Okay, so I have a lump of this. I have some copper pipe. Okay, so 1/2-inch copper pipe, 1-inch GB, 1-inch mild steel pipe, some 1/2-inch copper pipe, and a couple of old rusty bending springs. Okay, 1/2-inch bending spring. This goes inside the 1/2-inch pipe, and 1-inch bending spring for copper, not for mild steel. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So what I want to do is the 1/2-inch pipe first. Okay, you'll need a cut end on the pipe. You know, you can't cut that with a pipe release. So there's my spring inside. Okay, it goes to about here. Okay, my second spring, I chopped the end off it. Okay, so it's still got the end that you can kind of put a puller on, you know, a wire or something. And I'm just going to slide it over. So where my thumb is, okay, if you can see this, okay, so where my thumb is, that's how much pipe we've got, you know, that the spring is covering. And essentially I want to you know, bend the pipe more or less in the middle, you know, so it's got plenty of spring to move around on. Okay, so this is what I have a spring in there, just so as you can see it, standard 1/2-inch spring, boom, all the way in there. Now the 1-inch spring goes over that, again to where my thumb is. Now I want to bend about in the middle, right, but I want to leave a little bit sticking out. So okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just sliding the steel pipe over the 1-inch spring. And remember, the copper is all the way to the end of the spring, okay? So I have this much copper sticking out, which I want. Okay, and I'm going to bend it about where this mark is here. Okay, so that's ballpark about 7 or 8 inches up the pipe. Okay? Now, just before I bend this, there are lots of ways of doing this. You don't need to bend pipe inside pipes. I just prefer this method. It's an easy way of doing it. And as I have the hydraulic benders, it's no problem. So here we go. Look, I'm going to bend this now. Okay, so haven't used this in a while. Now, if this doesn't work, I don't get my springs back. I'll just move this out. Okay, so that's going to do me. Let's take this out now and see what we have. Okay, so it did flatten it a bit, you know. I'm only looking for, I don't know, it looks more like 45. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I want to take the former off. And that was it. Not bad. Okay. Let's see if we can get our spring back. Sometimes twisting it. Yeah. I'm just going to rest it there. Okay, so what I have is I have an Allen key and a battery drum. Allen key goes in the battery drum. See that? Okay, and I'm going to use that to wind out this. Let's see if you can see it. Let's put this on its first speed. There we go. Okay. That's our 1-inch spring off, okay? Bit messy, but it's off. Okay, so I have a 1/2-inch pipe inside a 1-inch pipe all the way to the end. And it's bent. It means I can blow air down the 1-inch pipe and it doesn't affect the 1/2-inch pipe. I can blow as much pressure or as much air down this one as I want. I could just as easily bend bigger bore pipe if I need it, but this will do me. And I wanted to keep the 1/2-inch pipe separate from the, you know, away from the wall as much as possible. Now I lit the stove last night and I had the propane tank, the small bottle underneath the oil drum. I had that going absolutely cherry red, in the order of 700, 750 degrees C. 1200 plus degrees Fahrenheit. Really, really hot. Now I was just playing with it, I was just messing. I have 2 chambers in this, you know, a top chamber larger and a bottom chamber smaller. The bottom chamber is purely for air intake, okay, but last night it was easier for me and I elected to burn raw oil in the bottom chamber and it worked really well. It was a little smoky, it was unrefined, it wasn't as I intended, but I just wanted to see this thing going. I wanted to see if I was making smoke, to make sure that the smoke was travelling up the stack, you know, and out the flue, no problems, which it did. So I made a few modifications and I'm going to show you that now. Right, here we go. Okay, so first off, the top plate warped a bit, you know, with the heat on it. It's not cast iron, it's only mild steel, it's 4mm mild steel, and it took on, you know, a different shape, contorted a bit, which lifted it up off my seal. Now again, there was plenty of draw in the chimney to overcome that, but it wasn't ideal. So I elected to drill it and put tech screws in, self-drilling screws, down through the angle iron. So now this plate is held down. I'll show you that a bit closer in a second. This is still part of my old minion setup, but I bent some new steel. I have that going into my own updraft Y-style burner. Okay, so and I'll show you that inside now in a second. So we'll quickly run over it, and then I intend to light it. So to show you the setup, okay, we light a fire in here in the top part of it. The lower one, this one, that's air intake. Okay, and you can see through here. And the reason for that is it's going to come up through my updraft burner. Now there's a million different ways of burning waste oil. If you can get it hot, you can burn it on anything. You know, you just need to vaporize it, and then you're lighting the gas. The finer you can get the droplets, if you like, the better. This is just one burner. It works really well. It's crude. The thing is, it works on gravity. You know, it needs no mechanical parts whatsoever, and you can burn waste oil and produce a hell of a lot of heat. And if you look at my previous video, you'll see that I had this thing glowing red. This started off as yellow. I don't know what this is. This is the residue of the paint. It didn't outlast 700 degrees. Anyway, this is my burner. I haven't even cleaned it out since the last time I used it, in the little blue fella over there at the minion stove. Okay, so I'm going to show you closer now. Okay, so if you can see this is my oil feed in. That should be centered like that. Air can come in around my 1-inch pipe, my 1-inch mild steel pipe, and the oil drips down or flows down this 1/2-inch copper pipe. Okay, and the setup is it's going to drop into this little bead on this thing, on my waste oil burner. Okay, so literally just goes in there, covers the hole. Now position it so that the oil drips into the chamber. The air already has to come up through the bottom of it because it's sitting on a flat plate. And that's it. I'll just clean this glass a little bit so we can see what's going on. That's it, we're going to light it. And this is the first time oil has ever gone down this pipe. So let's see, I'm waiting on the oil to arrive. So anytime, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to close that. This is just to get it set up. Okay, going to put a squirt of kerosene, and there's very little kerosene in this. This is just to get it started. Put anything you like in it, and we'll give this a bit of a. Okay. All right, and that's it. We're going to close. You can see that the fumes from that are heading into this space. You know, they're not coming out into the room, which is a good thing. Just going to pull that closed now. And again, you can hear that roar. Let's give it some oil. Now, at the moment, I still need to put some rope around here, some stove rope or fiberglass rope. It's getting some air in here. I'm not worried about it at the moment. You know, we've got plenty of suction. It will suck surplus air in through there anyway. You can see the goggles I put on this guy. Okay, so there you go. Now again, we're using my tried and tested waste oil burner. It's good, but it's not the only thing I'm going to try in this one. I know this is going to work. I just don't know how good yet. Certainly last night without it, we had a salvage heat. Went through a fair bit of oil though. At the moment we're burning probably 2 litres an hour. It seems to be burning clean enough. So we'll see, we'll let that go for a while and see what happens. So that's it, it's been going for about half an hour now. There's lots of heat out of it. I'm a bit close to it as it is. It's not as hot as I had it last night, that's intentional. I overdrove it last night just to see how everything was working. Tonight it's a more sedate kind of, I don't know, 200-300 degrees. I don't know, 400 degrees thereabouts, 416, something like that. On this part, you know, the oil drum part of it, 244 degrees. On the sides, 224. On the top plate, 277. On the pipe, 191, 197. And it gets cooler as it goes up to about 37 degrees, 54 degrees at that point, higher up. Okay, so you know, it's doing a great job of radiating heat. If I want to make this red hot, I can do it. I just load it up with the oil. But you know, we're running probably about 2.5 litres an hour, which for the amount of output we're getting is fantastic. Okay, so the flames down below, no problem. That's just where some oil has scribbled, if you like, through the burner unit, through the little holes in the burner unit, and down into this. I didn't clean it. So anyway, real world test. But great heat out of this now at the moment. I don't know, maybe it's 9 or 10 degrees outside, it's raining. Now I'll run this thing a few more times, I'll burn all the paint off it, and then I'll clean it up a bit and give it a coat of black paint. I suspect I can keep black on this part of it, on the oil drum, because it doesn't seem to want to redden. Now I can redden it, but given the heat output, with the old minion stove I used to have it red hot, literally to get this sort of heat out. But I've got much bigger surface area so I can lower the output temperature. Now we've got great heat output off this. I do intend to cook off it. I intend putting the lid on it barbecue style, you know, so it's hinged and we can close it down and maybe bake something in it. Now, I keep saying it, I can't cook, but I'll give it a shot. Now, I don't know about making perfect ovens or whatever. I just wanted a shed heater that was multifunctional. I've gotten that in this. I know it's a mad looking design and all the rest, but I thought about it before I did it. Okay, so currently this one-of-a-kind burner is very good. It's lashing out the heat. Lots of people do 2 barrels and all the rest. This cost me, you know, a box of welding rods. I still have rods left to make up. Okay, so it's 22:40. It's 20 to 11 at night, and we can cook on this. Hear the kettle. Okay, so it's 20 to 11 at night. It's time for me to go. Okay, so if you've been here before, thanks very much. I appreciate the support. If you haven't been here before and you like this sort of video, if you wouldn't mind subscribing down there, click on the bell icon and we'll try and grow the channel a bit. And sure, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for sticking by me. Good luck.